It's always exciting when it's time to go back to school, but this year with 2 new high schools opening up and students and teachers heading back tomorrow, excitement right now is just off the charts.
That's right, and that's why Superintendent Dr. Donny Lee, he is joining us now to talk about all that is happening in the WFISD. We want to thank you so much for being here because we know it is crazy busy right now.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been years in the planning, and now tomorrow we finally get to open the doors. Exciting times.
It is exciting. You know, we asked for the public's input here, and we got some questions, and one of the first things that we received was, when is it going to open up for the public to be able to come in for the open house and have the, be able to have a public tour?
Yeah, so the Memorial High School open house and Meet the Mavericks is on Monday, August 19th. The ribbon cutting will start at 5:30.
Okay.
Immediately after the ribbon cutting, we'll have an open house to let the community tour. And then after that, they'll have an opportunity to meet the Mavericks. At Legacy, we're going to do that on Thursday, the 22nd. It's going to start at 6 o'clock, and it's going to follow a similar format, and we'll let the community go in and observe the amazing facilities.
I'm sure it's going to be a packed house.
Yeah,
I want to see it myself. I got to look at it.
Yeah.
Now, one of the bigger things that parents were worried about was kind of the traffic jams that might happen before and after school, right? So backing up at both high schools, 369 at Memorial, and then, of course, 281, 287 at Legacy.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate any of those problems or becoming a problem?
Yeah, it's honestly going to have some traffic issues. It just, the first day of school without brand new state-of-the-art facilities, traffic is bad. So we've anticipated that, and what we do is we have the police officers, our WFISD PD, they're going to be performing traffic direction around the school inside the loop. We're also partnering with the Wichita Falls Police Department to be on those roads like you mentioned, 369, Windthorst Road, all of those roads in order to help guide the traffic inside so that parents aren't going in one-way routes, because these are new roads, new access points. So we're going to have a lot of help and assistance, not only with the parents, but the new student drivers as well.
Oh, goodness, we forgot about those student drivers,
we did,
Oh, man.
There is that. Many parents have voiced concerns about their job schedules and the drop-off and pickup times for the schools. Explain again the 3-tier system and why that's in place.
So we had 2-tier systems, but when we have 2 high schools that are spread across the city, it takes more time, more bus routes if we were just doing it on 2 tiers, which, more bus routes cost more money, more time. And so we wanted to decrease time spent on the road. We wanted to decrease funding for buses. It was going to cost $2 million more to stay on the 2-tier system. And so now that we have 3 tiers, all it did was increase at the elementary 5 minutes, not a drastic amount of time. The high school's the same. So tomorrow at the new schools, 7:30, we're going to be welcoming kids. It's just a 5-minute difference on the drop-off.
All right, that's nice to know. Now, with those 2 new high schools, I mean, we went from 3 to 2.
Yes.
The balancing, for attendance and stuff in those zones has, of course, changed.
Sure.
So, have those balanced each other out now that we're at 2, and do you see that needing to be adjusted come future school years?
Well, currently, as of today, we've got about 1,870 students at Legacy that are registered for English 1. Okay. Over on the Memorial side, we have close to 1,700. A lot of the growth has taken place on the Memorial side, so we didn't want to start at an even student count number at both high schools on day 1. So organically, over the years, over 2-3 years, we expect a shift over to the west side, and that the equilibrium of student enrollment will kind of balance itself out. But right now, as it starts year 1 and into year 2, Legacy is going to have about 200 more students in the high school.
Okay, Dr. Lee, thank you very much for this first visit.
Now, we are back now with WFISD Superintendent Dr. Donny Lee.
Let's start things off with this. Would the district ever consider letting the students, the high school students, decide which school they'd like to attend?
No, at this, that was in the past. It's called school choice.
Right.
And what we've noticed is the equilibrium of schools got out of balance quite dramatically. And so everywhere that a student lives in an attendance zone will mark which campus they're at, regardless if they're at the elementary, the middle school, or the high school. So there's no plans in place to open up school choice again.
All right, that's good to know then. Now, for these new high schools coming in, how do they fare in terms of like looks, technology, compared to maybe other schools you've seen in the past, newer built ones?
You could close your eyes and go anywhere in the state or pick any place in the state, north, south, east, or west, and these schools, these two high schools, rank at the top no matter what.
No matter how large the school is.
That's right. And you know,
Or,
parents come
up in the
in,
districts.
business leaders, students, and they go, wow. And the first thing they say is, we cannot believe these are in Wichita Falls.
Wow, that's insane.
You know, many people still remain very concerned about that, and we're talking about the awards, the trophies, all of that, those collectible memorabilia over these memories over the years. What's to become of all of those?
So
and I'm talking about, you know, of course, Old High and
Sure. Yeah, and Hershey as well. You know,
Yes,
any traditional trophies that you think would be wonderful to have and display, such as state championship trophies, team trophies.
Right.
There is going to be a place designed in both of those schools as you walk in the entryway of Memorial and Legacy that's going to honor those. It's going to be an honor to the past. So you'll walk in, you'll see all of the wonderful trophies in a trophy case displayed honoring the three schools. And then also any type of memorabilia that was wonderful as a team will be honored. Now, individual trophies, if you earned a trophy back in the 90s, you'll have an opportunity to bid on that via an auction that will have some more information coming up in the future.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I think so too. A way to help the schools district, you know, and give back. Also, hold on to your history from there a little bit.
That's exactly right.
That's
Yes,
great.
and it gives everybody an opportunity to get it back without saying, "Can I have that? Can I have that?" Well, you can go auction it or win the auction and get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Dibs will be called an auction style
That's
only.
exactly right.
Now, speaking of kind of the history and stuff, you're bringing back drill teams. After 25 years, they're coming back with the new schools comes
That's
these
right.
new drill teams.
Yes.
Do you think that's really going to emphasize that school spirit and just the excitement about rivalries and everything?
Well, it does that, absolutely. But it also ensures that there's something for every student. So we wanted to make sure that both schools, that they were engaged with the school, that they're involved with their school community, and that's important to a lot of students. And we didn't have that, and we wanted to ensure we went out and got good coaches for that, good teachers. And so we've got something for every student, no matter if you're a scholar, if you're in the fine arts, while you're in for a treat, or if you're in for athletics. There's something for every single student.
What are some of the other new things coming, like, for instance, uniforms and instruments for the bands?
Yeah, so we've got, orchestra. We've got a really neat part of that in band you mentioned is we've got a guitar lab and a piano lab. So if you are a guitar player, generally you're not in the band playing the guitar and because of how that instrument sounds and reacts to the other instruments, the tuba and things like that. There is a separate lab just for those students, a piano lab, a guitar lab, an orchestra place, a choir studio. I mean, there is something, again, for everybody.
That's wonderful. Inclusivity and
Yes.
just playing into what those students love and
That's
adore.
right.
That is a great way of looking at it. Something to be excited about.
Yes.
Now, thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for
Yes.
answering those
Yeah.
questions. We sure
Yeah.
do appreciate it.
And this is perfect. I mean, everybody had so many questions, and it's awesome that you could come out the night before the big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And tonight, I mean, this is parent-teacher night, right?
This is right. Yeah, we had a lot of parent-teachers yesterday at elementary. We've had tons at Legacy and Memorial. So the staff is just polishing things up, getting them ready. We're fixing to see about 3,600 high school faces tomorrow and about 10,000 of the other districts.
I love what you
right.
said earlier. When do you hear a high school kid say, "I can't wait to go to school"? So, I mean, that says it all right there.
And-
Thank you again so much
Yes.
for being
Thank you
out
for
here.
having me.
And we want to remind you, because we are celebrating the start of school, you can share photos of your kids for our back-to-school montages. All you have to do is just scan the QR code that's right there on your screen. That will take you to the Report It section on our website, and that's where you can submit your photos and make sure you sign that permission form as well.
Now, once you do that, make sure you tune into our newscast to see your students. You can also go to Texomashomepage.com and look under the Report It tab to submit those photos.